And here now for more on this effort, Senators Chris Coons and James Lankford. Gentlemen, good to see you. Thank you for joining us this evening. First, we do want to talk about this GOP bill on police reform. It doesn't appear there's legislation yet that can pass both the House and the Senate. With both parties acknowledging this as an issue that needs to be addressed, how confident are both of you that Congress will deliver a bipartisan solution to the American people by the end of the year?
Yeah, it's its own unique challenge to be able to walk through this. Obviously, the House has their proposal that Speaker Pelosi is going to bring up. It looks like it's a straight partisan proposal that'll come out of the House. In the Senate, we do things a little differently. You have to have 60 of 100 senators to start debate. Then you debate it, you amend it, you go through the process. If all the amendments aren't heard, then the minority party can always make sure it keeps going because you have to have 60 votes at the end. That makes sure everyone gets heard through the process, and then at the end of it, you pass a bill. So our hope was that there would be a bill that would come out of the House, a bill that would come out of the Senate. It's a normal process. We would have this open. Senator Tim Scott, who's the one coordinating all this, made the offer of up to 20 amendments that could be on this bill. So it was a very wide open process for Democrats to be able to engage, be able to add anything, bring it up for a vote. Let's find where we have a bipartisan agreement, because at this point right now, America is really looking to the Senate, knowing that the House proposal is going to be a very partisan proposal, to try to form a bipartisan proposal to be able to get this done. And what we brought today was, we think, a good starting point of that. Good transparency, ending chokeholds, providing money for body cameras, providing greater accountability for law enforcement to turn in good records, keep body cameras on, to be able to do additional grants for training that's out there. So there's a lot that's very, very positive in it.
Senator Lankford, we know that you were a co-sponsor of Senator Scott's legislation. Senator Coons, why couldn't Democrats sign on to the process and at least debate the bill?
That's a great question. We've got a significant gap between the bill that I'm a co-sponsor of, the bill that was principally led by Senators Booker and Harris, and is the bill that's going to be taken up and passed in the House, and the bill that Senator Scott, Senator Lankford, and most other Republicans are co-sponsoring. And I respect Senator Lankford, Senator Scott, and listened to Senator Scott's speech on the floor today. I got some critical input last night from the family of George Floyd, from the NAACP, from 130 different civil rights groups that were urging Democratic senators, urging all senators, frankly, not to proceed to this vote today, but instead to negotiate a bipartisan base bill, one that was closer to or comparable to the Justice and Policing Act. We've seen a similar challenge in the past as we tried to work through real differences on immigration, on tax policy, on gun policy, on criminal justice reform. In criminal justice reform, we were able to reach a bipartisan compromise with support from the White House and with persistent engagement from communities of faith and from our home state communities across a wide range of backgrounds. We ultimately got over the finish line. 2 months ago, when we initially took up the CARES Act, the Epidemic Relief Act, or the Financing Act, it passed ultimately unanimously, but only after twice Democrats refused to move to the bill until it was expanded. What I really think we have here is a difference about process, doing floor amendments versus negotiating before we get onto the floor. But I think all of us were disappointed at what's happening today, and that today we're not moving forward.